sports games, first-person shooters, third-person shooters. What else do you want to put in?
Leisure Suit Larry.
I beat Entitled Goose Game this year. Like, come on.
That's because your girl made you play it.
No, I played it by myself, dude. I was dying laughing for those 4 hours.
Yo, and what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode, a special episode of the next podcast. Yeah, guys, you might be looking at your calendars right now saying, what the hell is going on? And yes, we are on a Wednesday, and the reason why is, for some rhyme or reason, New Year's Eve is on a Thursday. And I already know how finicky my panel is, and they don't want to do a show on any type of holiday or anything like that. Especially my brother Crispy. He's going to be like, I need to drink on New Year's Eve. So we are live on a Wednesday at 8 p.m. So what is up, chat? What is going on? How are you guys doing? This is a big episode. It is our year in review. Basically, I'm gonna ask these guys what their biggest surprises were when it came to 2020, what the biggest controversies were, biggest conspiracies, all within gaming, and see what they have to say, and kind of like we'll go from there. Not only that, I do want to talk about a certain Ubisoft Plus rumor that has been going on. We did not go live last week, so I feel like a rookie again. I feel like this is like our first show, and I don't know. It might take me a minute to get back comfortable in the podcast seat. But guys, we got to get into the introductions, and I already said his name, so I am gonna introduce my Connecticut brother, the man who lives in the same state as me. You guys know him as a hardcore Gears fanatic, but I'll let you guys know he can actually swing a golf club as well on the Xbox. Yo, Crispy, what is going on, brother?
Oh, what's up, man? What's up, chat? We got a few people trickling in here, and I love it. It's good stuff because we just change days all the time. It feels like Bot. I'm just saying. Yeah. Bot will be drooling right now if he saw the rib roast that's about to be cooked tomorrow. And yes, I have people coming over, respectful people that I know that, are not going to be.
Hold on. If these people know you, how respectful are they? Like, really?
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I see how it is. Let's go, Bot. Come on now. But yeah, we got some things to talk about, and Crispy's going in. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, Crispy, you kind of let everybody know on Twitter, like you're gonna be going in hard in this episode, and I'm interested to see where, like, how this is gonna happen. So
well, I gotta bring you around the world real quick, so that's what I'm gonna do. I always do that. I mean, that's my forte. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yo, first off, shout out to Dragonheart, Yobi, what is going on, brother? Rico Dennis, what is up? What is going on? RG Viper X, good to see you, brother. Good to see everybody in the chat. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and share this out, because I know, the usual suspects, the people that are usually in the chat, they might not know that, we're live on a Wednesday at 8 p.m. It's different. It's unique. It's something we don't do often. But next on the list, we're going to the Lone Star State, because I keep hearing everything is bigger in Texas. And if you check out his OnlyFans, you might agree with that. Yo, Predator, what is going on, brother?
You putting the OnlyFans in the intro.
Oh, damn, Pred. Like, you going to say that in the chat, bro? Like, come on.
I said it, I whispered it, and no one fucking caught me. So I'll put it in chat. Anyway, yeah, I'm in Texas, so there you go. It's cold. It's raining. It's about to snow here. It does snow in Texas, people. I know you guys are shocked about that, but not like Connecticut snow. But, we got a lot of topics to get into, and I'm tired, so we got to get this shit over with.
Yeah, Pred has been up since like 1:15 this morning, so we're going to try to hold on to him for as long as possible. And hear what he has to say. Hopefully he gets overtired and starts saying some really, really crazy stuff on the show. I'm looking forward to that happening. But yo, all right, we're gonna go all the way across the country now. See, we went East Coast with Connecticut. We hit the Lone Star State. Let's go all the way to the West Coast. My West Coast brother, the man who used to save the world, but he just retired because he thought, nobody was grateful for what he was doing. Yo, Dark Optimus, aka Angry Otter, what is going on, bro?
I just realized that it's just not worth saving anymore. Everybody's just mean to each other and freaking toxic, and I just can't handle it anymore, man. That's what happened. I was just like, nope. You know what? They'll get Goldblum / Angry Otter when they shape up.
Okay, so the entire population needs to shape up then, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to be waiting a long time for that one. But anyway,
Yes.
Dude, it is good to have you on. Guys, I am sending out an APB all points bulletin. I have no idea where K Mega is right now. I know
He said he would be here in a bit, but he didn't.
I know he knows the show is on. See, the funny thing is, Pred said he was going to be late, and every time Pred says he's going to be late, he's on time. Every time Pred says he's not going to show up, he gets in early, actually, and does the show. So, guys, anybody who is following K Mega on Twitter, yo, message him. Let him know. He is missing the show right now. What is going on? He needs to be on the I speak of, I heard a doorbell. And there he is.
Ding dong.
And there
He's like talking
there
shit,
he is.
bot.
No, I wasn't even talking
He's
shit.
like, ding dong, motherfucker.
I wasn't even talking shit yet. I was getting to that point. I was getting close. It was about
K
to
Meg
happen.
about the twisted T your ass.
Stop the malarkey. Yo, Dragonheart, yo, malarkey. Yo, K Mega.
Man. What?
We are live, brother. What's going on?
I'm busy, man. What's up, man?
Busy?
It's the holidays, man. What you doing, man?
Technically it's not a holiday
What?
right now.
It's the holidays, man. What are you doing, man?
It's not a holiday.
What
right
are you
now.
doing, bud? It's the holidays, man.
Practice. You talking about practice, dog?
You're talking about practice, man.
Yeah.
What is this?
Holiday.
This is practice run. This is-
Holiday.
yeah. What are you doing?
Not Arbor
This
Day,
ain't game, son. This ain't a game.
It's not a game.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not
It's
talking
not a
about a
game.
game. We're talking
We talk about
practice.
practice. We
Yeah.
talk about a podcast practice. What are you talking about?
Hold on,
What we
brother. Are
doing?
you trying to say that you use next podcast as practice? Is that
That's
what you're...
practice.
Oh,
I'm saying
He uses it
this.
as GRG
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah, I said today is practice because we're not really talking about really any type of topics today that's pertaining to anything big or some gaming news. We're just going to be talking
Well,
about
we are talking Ubisoft Plus and that whole rumor. So that's what.
yeah,
we're
but that could be
starting
done for next week. Like you can start that when the practice when we're
objections in
game
the DM,
time
man, when I
next
put- when I
week.
put it out
Next
there.
Halo,
week.
man. That'll extend the podcast for an hour right there.
Next week. Next week. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Oh,
since
man.
everybody's
Anyway, what's up?
together right now, we're live. I think we should talk about it now.
I
Man.
know we're live. What's up, everybody? What's up, chat? I'm sorry that y'all had to come here and listen to us practice. But all right, what's going on? Let's do our thing, man.
Yo, what?
I hope everybody had a great holiday and on their vacations doing the damn thing, because obviously we're not.
Dude, you make me sound
Anyway,
like
man,
a
come on, let's get to
dictator,
it.
yo.
Oh man.
You kind of dictate what we do on this show. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Guys,
Yeah,
guys,
man.
I
You
just
kinda,
want the chat
you
to
know.
know I am not that bad, all right? I am not
bro.
that bad in the DMs.
Bro, like he was trying to have a Christmas show.
What? No, I wasn't.
I know he was.
No, I
He
wasn't.
was. He was.
He was.
No,
Yeah.
He was gonna have a Christmas show, ladies and gentlemen.
He
I
was like,
said,
"Fuck Jesus."
I said, yeah. He was like, hell with it. You know what I'm saying? Hell with it. He says, we're gonna be doing. He said, we.
Oh, say it with a straight
man.
face, man.
Oh,
He said, yeah, man. He was like, man, a manger. Man, we talking about X by 448 time. That's what we
Jesus,
talking
man.
about.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
K
What
Mega,
up, bro?
can we get a quick impersonation of my laugh? Just real quick.
Oh man, okay, yeah. So, but I got to do it in story form. All right, really quick. So, every time that it's kind of like he wants it to be funny, so he thinks that if he does the laugh, it's going to be funny to everybody else. Or if he's nervous about asking somebody something, he'll always do it. It never fails. So when he was bringing up the stuff about having a show, not on Christmas, but it was Christmas Eve, and I was like, yeah, it's your damn mind. I'm not going to be there. I was like, everybody, Crispy and them can be there, but I'm not coming. And then so he was like, but before he did it, he was like, hey, I don't celebrate Christmas. So I was thinking about having a show on Wednesday. And I was like, you ain't even fucking with me on this one, bro. I'm not doing it. And so, I said, I ain't doing it. I ain't having GRG. If I ain't doing that shit, I'm like, no. But but every time if Bot's trying to do a joke and he don't know if his joke is going to be funny or not, he'll do the heck. And if he's going to ask a question that he thinks is going to be that's going to spark some kind of controversy, he's going to do it.
Is Bot got Woody Woodpecker in him? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That does not sound right, dude.
He does it. I promise you. He every time, and he'll do it tonight. He won't know. He'll go, hey, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
You pointed it out to me one day. I never realized I did that. Yeah.
He'll be like, yo.
Oh man.
Yo, Pred's like, move on, bitch. There you
Oh
go.
man.
That is true.
All right.
That is Fred. Move on, bitch.
All right, we're ready. Listen, I'm
right.
here, so I might as well get it started.
All right,
Let's
guys,
go.
and like I said, hit that thumbs up button, share this out, let the people know that next podcast is live right now. This is the very last show of the year. It is the last show of season 3. We are retiring Ori as the mascot. Next week, you will have a brand new mascot for the show. Stay tuned to find out which mascot that will be. And I am working on...
Please be curious. Please be curious.
I am working on changing the look of the show as well, because with a new season, you need a new look. So I'm going to be working on that within the next couple days as well. So I think it's going to be cool. I got a pretty cool idea of where I want to go in terms of how the show looks. Yo, shout out to Lady Foxfire in the chat. What is up, girl? There's some truth to this, K Mega. Aw, yo, lady, not like this.
Hey, if you know Bot as long as I have and Foxy has, she and Lady Fox has, we you know it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's we've had some years. You know what I'm saying? This is not just a couple. We've had damn near half a decade now. So yeah, I know Bot pretty well.
Yo,
I think that's too long to know somebody.
Yo, I've known K Mega. We were talking about games on Facebook, man. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't
we're
on Twitter.
We're going like the beginning of the Xbox One era. So
yes.
So it's shit. We going close on to a decade.
Damn, man.
So
that's crazy.
That's been a minute.
So you guys been holding on to hope for a long time now, huh?
Wow,
bro, we've been doing the damn thing. So.
I hope I didn't break my vape, man. I really hope I didn't break my vape. But guys, we have to get into the first topic. And K Mega, since we've been talking here, there seems to be a little rumor about Game Pass and Ubisoft Plus. People stating that they could be rolling Ubisoft Plus into Game Pass, kind of like what they did with EA Play. Dude, do you know where that came from? Because I was at work when I started seeing all this kind of like coming in. I really don't know where the source is or anything like that. Do you know where this rumor came from? And what do you think about the possibility here? Do you think that this is a possibility that Ubisoft Plus might be rolled into Game Pass and kind of like put out there for gamers who subscribe to Game Pass? Yeah.
Well, the rumor was started a long time ago. I mean, it goes back to even last year, where they were when it was talking. The whole Sega thing came about last year, and what was it, 2018, 2019, when it first came out, and so they were bringing up the stuff about Game Pass and what potentially could come to Game Pass. And first, it was Sega games, and then it turned into the rumors about Ubisoft because of the whole thing of this rumor that's coming up as well about Steam. Those things haven't died off. The Sega thing, the Steam thing has not died off. Those things have still been around for quite a long time. And now, since kind of out of the blue, the EA thing came out of nowhere, it's kind of resurfaced. It resurfaced earlier this year about Ubisoft. And then, of course, the WB and all that other stuff. So it's the article actually that came out about this recently came from a Brazilian gaming magazine or whatever. And so then it's kind of caught fire, just like another article from Brazil that came out that was pretty bizarre about the whole Sony situation, which that sounds crazy. I thought that was from The Onion when I heard that about the whole Sony acquiring and all that stuff. But I do think that this is real. I do. I think what Xbox has seen is that the success with what's going on with the EA Play thing and with just Game Pass itself, it makes more sense for Ubisoft because Ubisoft is already doing it with Luna, and the relationship with the marketing rights with certain games, with Valhalla and other games that Microsoft has. I could see that this being an opportunity for them to add this on, because remember, if you go back, like I said, a couple of years back, they were talking about all these game companies that was going to start doing their own type of services, even going with Capcom, Namco Bandai. And it seems like this was going to be the future of where gaming was going, and a lot of people didn't like it at the time. But I think there's some validity to it. I really do. I think it could definitely come. I think Xbox got a lot of things rolling, man. It's going to be some amazing things coming down the line, man, because there's so many rumors right now, like, damn. And Xbox is kind of threw everybody, through the loop with the whole ZeniMax thing. So now everybody knows that they got the money and that they're serious about getting, the gaming situation. So I think it's really, I think it's the real deal. I think it's true.
It's interesting to me because we already have EA Play, and I forgot how much EA Play is by itself. I think it's really cheap. I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. Maybe
$30 a year. Yeah.
Okay, so now with Ubisoft Plus, that's more like 15 a month, something like that, right? Like it's pretty much equal to like Ultimate Game Pass or at least Game Pass. It's either 10 or 15 a month. I would think that this is possible, but the way I'm looking at this, and K Mega, I wanna hear your thoughts on this. I'm thinking they might roll out EA Play and roll in Ubisoft, and possibly kind of like rotate other subscription services, kind of get deals going in where Ubisoft comes in, but EA might drop out for that time. And then you see what I'm saying? I can see it that way, because otherwise I don't see where Ubisoft, at least on the Xbox platform side of things, like, it would be a no-brainer if Game Pass comes with, all the games that Game Pass has, first party day and date, and then EA Play and Ubisoft Plus. That is such an incredible deal. It's kind of like Ubisoft is strangling their own subscription service on the Xbox platform. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I would think of them as kind of like rotating other subscriptions into this. Like, do you think of it that way, or you think they're just giving you all the cake and you're just going to eat it too? Like, absolutely everything, no rotation, just EA's in there, Ubisoft would be in there, and all the games for Game Pass.
I think it's going to be kind of split. It's kind of like how we look at it with EA Play. You don't get brand new games day and day like you do in Game Pass. What you get is games with newer games with discounts. So I don't see it to being an extra fee being added unless it's something to where they, because there was a reason why Ubisoft did this whole new thing where it's called Ubisoft Connected now. So when they changed their whole new infrastructure, there was a reason for that. And so I think what they're going to do is that they're going to do the same thing as EA has done. and they'll give their games at a discount. Because I mean, if you look at it right now, you see how fast that that Phoenix game has gone down. It was like $29 the other day. You know what I'm saying?
It still
So
is.
yeah, so like yeah, it's still at the same price. So yeah, it's like dropped down, and then you look at Assassin's Creed and also Watch Dogs. Those are an incredible price. They was like $40 now. So I think what's going to happen is that they see that their older games can still have life on on the Xbox platform, and they can still have something to look forward to because they can have more people buy their games if they do it at a discounted price like EA does with their games. I don't think, I'm saying, and it also probably that the Ubisoft thing, because I've seen a lot of PC guys complain about the Ubisoft store. And now since you've seen Steam and now Epic is joining to the fray, and Epic is killing it, and it's really now just a two guy or two streaming race or whatever, when you got or I don't even know what you would call Steam or Epic, some kind of gaming store or whatever.
Mhm.
But those are the only two in town that's really dominating on the PC space. I mean, there's plenty others, but Ubisoft has never been in discussion, and people hated EA access. So it's one of those things where I think that they look and see that there's more potential, especially where Xbox can jump in and have their service, and then help EA and Ubisoft as well, because I think it's going to be the same way as EA does it. Me personally.
All right, man. This is I'm excited. You guys know me. I'm all about Game Pass, and anytime they can roll a new kind of like set of games in there from a specific publisher or something like that. Even EA Play, I was just like, wow, when they put that in there. And now the rumor of Ubisoft Plus possibly going in there, it just really, my eyes got really wide, because $15 a month and that entire library of games, and then being bolstered by Ubisoft Plus, that is something that's insane to me. I don't know. Yo, Crispy, what do you think about this rumor, man? Do you think there's any validity here? And what do you think about my idea of them kind of like rotating these publisher subscriptions like in and out? Do you think it would go that way, or do you think it's just have everything on the table for the gamer at once? And hold on, before you answer that, I do got to give a shout out to Midway 7 Monster. What is up, brother? One of our golfing buddies. He said, hope everyone had a good holiday and have a happy New Year. Yo, same to you, brother. Big things on this channel for the coming New Year. And Midway, one of them. One of the shows that are going to be premiering on this channel. But shout out to you, brother, and thank you for that. But yo, Crispy, what do you think about this rumor, man? Any validity here?
I do believe, because they have multiple partnerships with Ubisoft themselves. So you have to understand that they make totally different games than even EA makes. I mean, a lot of people ignore that. Like, you have to realize that all Phil wants to do is make a service, a subscription service that has multiple different types of games all the time. You can go from a first-person shooter to a third-person shooter to a racing game to a sports game to whatever the heck you want to. Now, yes, some of them are older, but a lot of people may not. You get a Series X, you might want to experience and see what's happening on a certain game rather than another, or see how it's been up-resed or something like that. It's like discovery. That's, like you discover a new thing that you may not have enjoyed before, and you're just subscribing to a service. I mean, Ubisoft, EA, they've been trying to do the same thing that Xbox actually did later for some of them. And Xbox just did it better, and you have more eyes on what is going on with the console itself, with the subscriptions itself. Having the mobile aspect of it is pretty incredible for some of these companies. They probably just want more eyes. I don't see them just saying, okay, EA's out, let's put Ubisoft in. That they're two totally different companies in how they make games. And honestly, Ubisoft, as of late, has been much better. And why not, with the partnerships going on with Valhalla and stuff like that, throw some games that are very nearly the same in an aspect, third person, open world,
Mm-hmm.
find yourself, figure out how you're going to go about it type games that people enjoy. Clearly, like me, I get a little tired of it at times. Like, eventually I'm too OCD. I try to do everything. That's my thought process. But at the end of the day, that is not what everybody is thinking. Everybody's thinking like, oh, I could potentially be, playing a game that maybe didn't look great on the one or the 360 or something like that, and all of a sudden could play and look better. I mean, some people have not experienced these games, just like myself. I haven't picked up Valhalla. I haven't picked up anything, except Cyberpunk, which is a first-person shooter. It's not a third-person game. Like, that's what Ubisoft's good at. They have clearly shown that, especially as of late. They've really turned themselves around. So I personally think it's true in some way, if only Ubisoft really wants those extra eyes on their products, even if they're a little older than what you would really like a Valhalla or something like that.
Well, I will say one thing. I haven't looked into Ubisoft Plus to see what they have to offer, but I know like with Xbox and backwards compatibility and everything like that, put all the Splinter Cells into Ubisoft Plus if they're not in there already, and I am absolutely down, man. Because like I don't want to go and like rebuy all those games and stuff, and if they can all go into Game Pass with this again, guys, this is just a rumor. Nothing has been kind of like announced or anything like that, so I don't want people who are just coming in and think about, oh man, like they already announced it. No, it is a rumor that's going on right now, and we're talking about whether or not there's a solid chance that this could happen. And Splinter Cell right there, uh, that would have me. That would have me at hello. But
That would have a lot of people, especially with the technology involved and what they're doing on Xbox's side. I mean, if that game runs better than we can't have what we got before, and that's the whole point. And I feel like Xbox has a little niche when it comes to that, to take a game that doesn't need, a lot of back end work involved with the actual developer, and take it and make it better. They can do that just with the power of the console itself, and that's something that we're not really seeing from PlayStation. You're seeing them like basically like, isolate titles and stuff like that and say like this is enhanced and this and that. And we understand that like there's Series X and S enhanced, but also a lot of people are experiencing these older titles playing better, and there's really nothing being said about that, because that's a big deal, at least for somebody like me who hasn't played some of these games. You know what I mean?
yeah, well, it's a big deal in terms of preserving your library as well. It's something that is kind of new going from last gen into this gen and moving forward, and it's something that I know Xbox has been incredibly for. You know what I'm saying? Is preserving your game library, and like say like 3 generations down the road, you're still going to be able to play those older games with better performance, stuff like that. Whether it's a console, whether it's streaming, but it's something that they are definitely dedicated to, which you gotta appreciate that. I definitely do, man, because sometimes games come out, and then as years go on, they're such a unique type of game that nobody else has really created those things, and it's good to go back and play those because they have their own unique feel and such. So I'm definitely down with preserving the library, and if they put Splinter Cell and Ubisoft Plus and then roll that into Game Pass, I would be completely happy. But we got to go to Dark on this. Yo, Dark, I'm really interested to hear what you think about this, because anytime I feel like I know what you might say, you go a completely different route on me, which I don't even guess anymore. I don't even verbally guess. Like I'll try in my head. But what do you think about this Ubisoft Plus rumor? Do you think that it's tangible? Do you think it's something that might be happening, kind of like behind the scenes? What are your thoughts, brother? Okay. Okay. Is Dark in the meat?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, I was on mute. Um,
Were you talking and on
yeah, I
mute?
was. I was like,
Nice.
wait a second.
Nice.
He can't hear me. Okay. Um, I think that I think it'll happen, but I think the price of Game Pass will go up due to that. Um,
Oh,
and,
interesting.
and but I don't think it'll go up like a lot. I think it'll probably go up like maybe $5, $20 a month for Game Pass. Um, I mean, yeah, granted, it didn't go up when EA Play came to Game Pass, but I think EA Play is actually a lot cheaper than Ubisoft Plus. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't use Ubisoft Plus or really.
Ubisoft Plus is $14.99.
Is it 14.99? Okay, well then then I don't see
Well,
them,
if it's
kind of
fourteen ninety
trying to.
nine, real quick, I'm sorry, Dark, but if it's 14.99, does it come with newer games in it for that price?
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't it's just like for what Crispy said, it's more eyes
Hmm.
just on the Ubisoft menu or the store or their games, because you get older games, but they give incentives on those games. You get free games out of that, and I don't see that Xbox would get those free games.
No.
I just see them getting just that you could just have those
Yeah.
older games available, and you get those games discounted, just like EA Play.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see the pricing um being the same that it is right now if they have all these subscription services that are added to Game Pass. Um, and I'm not trying to say that because, oh, it's a terrible thing. No, I just think from a business perspective, it makes sense for them to raise the price on Game Pass for that reason. Because you're getting all these games or whatever. Yeah, maybe might not be so beloved by the community or by people who utilize Game Pass to its fullest.
Me.
But
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with using Game Pass. I think I have Game Pass. I use it here and there for certain games, like especially like like the Microsoft exclusives like Call of the Sea that just came out. Um, other things too. Like Outer Worlds when that came out, I used it for that. Um, it's just I can't see them not raising the price for this if Ubisoft comes into to play with it, unless they decide like how you were saying, maybe not like fully like keeping EA Play in there,
Hmm.
just kind of like rotating it out, and then like doing something like that might make it so that the price doesn't go up. Maybe they have something, or maybe they just have a deal with Ubisoft saying, "Hey, we want to put this in Game Pass, but you guys are probably going to take a loss on
Well,
this."
Dark, the only reason why I say that is because if you look at it all together, the games that are in Game Pass, you look at it with EA Play, and then the possibility of
Yeah.
Ubisoft Plus. That's like that's like giving everybody everything, and I'm like, wow, that would blow my mind if they actually did that all. So I was thinking of a way that kind of like how they take games out of Game Pass after a
Uh huh.
while. They kind of have like a rotation going in and out or whatnot. That's I was kind of thinking in that kind of like realm.
Well, that's the only thing I can think of if they don't want to raise the price of Game Pass is to do it like that, where they um rotate them in and out. But I mean, I mean, if it does happen, awesome. That's great. I mean, more games for people to play, and for a low price subscription of 14.99 a month. For Game Pass Ultimate. So that would be a steal. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a steal now, but I mean, it'd be
even
even
more.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, and that's why like I'm like, yo, there has to be some type of catch in here. There has to be some type of
Yeah.
switch. There has to be some type of rotation. I do think it's interesting how you said, the possibility of raising the price. And I want to ask the panel what they think about that. But first, I have to hit Lady AF Super Chat. Yo, thank you so much, Lady, for the support. She says, here's to 2021, the first official year of ninth generation. Yeah, Lady. I'm definitely excited. I can't wait to get into it with you guys and join that ninth generation. Speaking of, shout out to RG Viper X. Yo, brother, I saw that message about the Series S. Dude, don't get me excited, man. My blood's boiling. Yo, don't get me excited like that, brother. Um, but um, but yeah, rest of the panel, I'm just gonna open it up to you guys. What do you think about Dark's idea of possibly raising the price of Game Pass Ultimate because it was already a great deal to begin with, man. Now it's looking like your cup overfloweth to such an extent that I'm like, damn, like I don't, that's I don't know.
You
What
don't
do you
even
guys
want to
think?
get to me first before you start doing supplemental questions.
What happened?
You don't even want to ask me how I feel about that before you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
asking
Well,
supplemental
hey.
questions.
Oh damn.
Oh.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
I mean, you just skipped right over me and you start asking secondary
I
questions.
know, I
Oh,
know.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
skip you.
guys, I can't be perfect, man. I'm only human. I'm only human. But all right.
Huh?
Well, guys, keep that in your mind. Then keep that in your mind. I'm sorry that Dark
I'm gonna hit
really
you with this twisted
he
tea.
raised a really good kind of like idea that I really wanted to hear what you guys had to say. But Predator, I always want to hear what you have to say, man. What do you think about Ubisoft Plus possibly rolling into Game Pass? Do you think this is a thing? Do you think this is something that's going to happen, bro?
I think eventually it will. I mean, when EA did it, the first thing I did was tweet out, Ubisoft, your move. Let's see this shit happen. But some let me clarify some things because I'm looking at it right now on PC. Ubisoft Plus does have games day and date um, with their subscription service, just like
Okay.
Origins did the same thing. Like they had two different versions. They had Origins and they had EA Access, where EA Access at the time, before they changed it up to what it is now, EA Access was just old games. And it was on Xbox, right? You couldn't get the games day and date in there. You get like a 10-hour, preview, but you never got the game day and date in EA Access. Origins Access on PC, you got the game. Um, you also got it 10 hours early, but you got games day and date. And Ubisoft Plus, keep in mind, they used to have Uplay, which I never subscribed to, by the way. So I don't know the difference between Uplay and
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
Uplay is like EA Access.
Yeah, you got the game,
Yeah.
maybe
You
10
had to
hours.
pay for the game, but you got to discount it.
Okay.
See, I
And
see. I never
Ubisoft,
played. Yeah, see, I never had the upgraded version. So,
yeah.
all right,
Ubisoft
good to
Plus
know.
lets you get the game. You
Okay.
can keep it as long as you subscribe to the service. So that's the difference between the two. But I think with Ubisoft coming over, if they decide to do this, I think the bigger thing is like same thing with why I thought that they would fail with Uplay, Ubisoft Plus, EA Access, et cetera, was the fact that they were only getting their games into that service. I think EA had some other shit in there too. Um, but for the most part, it was just their own specific games. And if they weren't pumping out games like that, if you're not a sports guy, EA wasn't going to be for you. They just were not pumping out a lot of not sports games, over the years. Like you can get hockey, football, soccer in there and stuff like that, but they were coming yearly. But if you weren't getting anything else out of it outside of those sports franchises, it really wasn't worth it to you if you don't play sports games. To me, that's just my personal opinion. Ubisoft, when they came out with their version, that was the same year they also like canceled every fucking game. So like all they had was Ghost Recon, and so it didn't really sell very well. And that was it. And so like you're gonna get that subscription service for a year just for Ghost Recon, and that's all that was coming out. And they basically pushed everything else back a year. which is why they had so many games out this year. If you think they had Watch Dogs Legions, they had um, what else? Assassin's Creed. They had
The
what the
Phoenix
fuck?
game, yeah,
The
Rise of
Phoenix
Phoenix.
game. They had 4 games out within the span of like 4 months. If you think about it, and I forgot the other one they had out.
Need
Watch
for
Dogs.
Speed, Hot Pursuit
Was
Remastered.
that theirs?
No,
That's
that's
no,
That's
no. I'm talking about
EA.
Ubisoft. I'm
That's
talking
EA.
about
They had
Ubisoft.
Watch Dogs Legion, Valhalla,
Yeah,
and Phoenix,
Phoenix.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Yeah.
And I think they had maybe a Rainbow Siege pack, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and they got Prince of Persia coming out later. But I mean, like, and maybe some
Oh,
Ghost
they had
Recon.
Hyperspace too.
Division 2,
That was
Warlords of New York.
Hyperscape. Yeah, they
And
did
then
have
all those
Hyperscape.
games though. They came out within the last 6 months. So like over that time period, if that would have been a great time to get the service because they had brand new games out.
Oh yeah, they had that one game too, Starlink or something like that.
Yeah, that was last year though, wasn't it?
That
That
was
was
this
like a
year.
couple years ago, actually.
That Starlink game?
Starlink? Yeah.
No,
Oh yeah,
that,
dude.
I know it's been out.
that game came out this
That's
year.
been out for a while, dude. That's been out for a while.
No one played it, but it's been out for a while.
Right. Exactly. No one played
Um,
it. Yeah.
But I mean, and they got like I think they got Scott Pilgrim coming out here pretty soon. I mean, they got games coming out, but the thing was like at the time when they first launched it, they didn't have any games. They had a lot of games down the road, but if you bought that first year, you were only going to play like 2 games that were brand new. So I think it coming over to Xbox, it depends on how they do it. If it's going to be a day and date thing, great, that's awesome. If it's going to be old games, and y'all know how I am about old games, I don't play those.
You
shits.
love them. You love them, Brett.
No, I don't. I'm done with a game after I beat it. Like, there might be some games that I try, like Uno. Me and my daughter play it all the time. Stuff like that. Like, there's a couple of Assassin's Creeds I never played, but I think those were on back and pad at one point in time, or they were on let's say Game Pass. They might have been in Game Pass.
Games with Gold.
Yeah, they were in Games with
Xbox
Gold for a
Live.
while.
Yeah.
I never really played the Crew. I'm not gonna go back and play all the old Ghost Recons or anything like that. So, and the Assassin's Creeds, I fucking know life when they come out. So like, there's a lot of games that are on there that if you never played before, yeah. But if you beat them all, like I don't see why someone would go back and play, Far Cry 4 if they've already beaten it, something like that. So that's just me. I'm looking at the games list right now. I'm talking like now when Prince of Persia comes out, what I love Prince of Persia, the original. I might go back and fuck with that, But I mean, it's just adding to the library, to what Game Pass has to offer. And I know you're gonna ask this question, so I'll get it out of the way now. What you said earlier about them rotating, no, they're not gonna do that. Like between EA and that'd be stupid. If it's in there, don't confuse the consumers by putting it in there for 3 months and taking it out, replacing it with EA access, and you play it and swap it back and forth. Just leave it in if it's there. Raising the price, I think that's going to happen at some point in time. Just like every company does it, like Netflix does it all the time. Like, yeah, it's going to go up. I don't think it's going to go up with the addition of this right now. Like, if it actually comes in tomorrow, I don't think it's going to raise the price of Xbox. What's it called?
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah, I don't think it's going to raise the rate of Game Pass right now. Now, talk to me in like a year or two. Then yeah, it will. But I don't think it's just going to be because of this. It's just going to be because it's been popular and people are buying it and they see they can make a little bit more coin off of it. You can't add this and then add EA access and then add fucking Disney Plus and then add like all these other things. But if you think about it, they're just apps. If you think about it that way, they're just putting the app on the Xbox to allow you to get other things. So this is just the K-Meg was trying to say this word earlier. This is just the launch system for it. EA. I'm sorry, not EA, but shit, I keep forgetting the Xbox app, whatever. That's just the way it's launched. Like everything's gonna be there. So I don't know if it's gonna raise the price of it initially. I think the more they add into it, the more valuable it becomes, and the more they see they can make more money off of it. Then yes, they will definitely be like, yeah, you know what? Let's add another $3 to this shit. So I can see that happening in maybe another year or two. But immediately, right off the jump, if it happens, no.
All right, I got you, man. And it's interesting to me because with Game Pass, Ultimate Game Pass, and stuff like that, not only do you get like the library of games, you get EA Play, the rumor of Ubisoft Plus, but you also get the ability to stream games to multiple devices, whether it's your cell phone, tablet, or whatnot. If people still use tablets, I don't even know. But rest of the panel, chime in, guys. What do you think about the possibility of them raising the price for Game Pass if they are gonna put Ubisoft Plus in there? I do like what Pred said, but again, man, it's such a value that I don't see how they can sustain it at its current price level if they keep adding these services and stuff like that to it. So what do you guys think?
Uh,
Well, I mean, I think personally, I'm I just don't see it raising, getting any price. I mean, because it's not like you're getting any more incentive than what you're getting from EA Play. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just getting more options to buy games at a cheaper price, and you're getting to play older games. Now, see, this is the thing to me is I think everywhere else and around the world, people outside of the gaming space don't look at old things as being bad. And I don't know any gamer, any true gamer that's played an older game that's never played it again and looked at it as an old game. They just looked at it as a game that they were anticipating to want to play, or they may have forgotten about it because, whatever, just real life situations, or it's just that they didn't have the financial money, the money to get the game at the time, and then they just forgot about it over time because they bought something else or whatever. And if that game comes up available, even though it may be 3-4 years old, that's still a new game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, because you're still getting, because even though somebody else has played the game and got the experience and moved on with it, that person who hasn't played that game, it's a new experience for them. So I don't. So it's not a bad thing to have older games available. That's. I think that's the mindset that gamers, especially going into their 2021s, got to get out of their got to get out their ass. I don't know why the hell. No, because I mean it's bullshit. I don't get how older games all of a sudden has become a bad thing. Like that's just stupid. That's stupid logic. So if there's games like Child of Light, that was one of the first games that I got to play when the Xbox One came out. I love that game. That's one of those games I rarely do it. I 100% it. I just fell in love with that game. I hope that they would bring another one back.
Which
But
that is also an Ubisoft game.
right, yeah, and that game, if people haven't experienced that game because it may have not looked or appealing or something like that or whatever, and then they just happen to just stumble on it if it's on their Xbox and they're like, oh man, I want to try to give this game a shot, and then they like it, then that's a whole new experience to them because the game is beautiful. It's really cool.
I think
So
K Meg, I think in some case, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no,
I
you're
look
fine.
at like some people who play old games like that. Sometimes it's not that the game is old and it's not new to them. It's
Mhm.
like how did it age? Like how far back is the old game old? You know what I'm saying? Like if that makes any sense. Like Child of Light was within the last 4 years, but like if
No,
Child
it
of
came
Light
out.
was
That was a lot. That was damn near a lot. That was in the first year of the Xbox and
so
the
about
PlayStation.
Child of Light,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty old. Yeah, that one's pretty
That's
old.
an old game. Yeah, because I played. The reason why I know because it was the Halo that little Halo little shooter game, and then I played uh played that game, and then I played Strider,
Strider.
and
Okay,
I beat all three of those games like in the same
that was
succession.
that was in the beginning of the generation, so that was like
Yeah.
2003. Like to me, it's like how old is old? Like you're looking at 2003, but like if you see a game like
2013. Trust me.
2013, sorry. But
You
like
went back
I
10
told you
years.
this is a practice session because I mean everybody's kind of out of it.
try, try playing like a game like the original Splinter Cell
Yeah.
and see how that ages. That's old to me. Like I can't go back and look at those polygons and play it that way. But like some of the like the later Splinter Cells, I can go back and play. Like some of the old Ghost Recons, I'll never touch again. But like the last two, I could fuck with. Last maybe three, maybe I could fuck with because they're still decent looking games for this
Yeah.
for what we have now. But like to me, like when we say this to older games, like how old is old? Is it like 5 years old or is it like 20 years old? Like there's a big difference. There's been a lot of shit that's happened since then, technology wise. So like we have to be careful when we say old games, because I think sometimes like if I put a game like the original Splinter Cell in front of my kids, they're like, man, this shit looks like garbage. They're never gonna play that. But if I put like the later version of Splinter Cell in front of them, they'll be like, okay, this looks pretty cool. I can fuck with this. So like I think sometimes we forget, because we're older gamers. We know where we came from, and we know where we're at now. But our younger kids don't know where we came from. When they see those older games, they're like, nah, fam, this ain't it.
It's the sum, though. That's the sum, though. I mean, the eye is in the, how does that say?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, I will completely disagree with that, only because like if you go in like my girlfriend's son, he plays Ark on PlayStation, the OG PlayStation 4, okay? And you go and I've watched him play it on the same TV I bought her, and then I've watched him play it on the One X, and it looks way better. And he doesn't care. All he cares about is the people that he knows on PlayStation. And that's the point I try to make to people. Like it's kind of crazy that, like even like small things make sense to people, but small things don't make sense to people. It's really in the eyes of the beholder. And unfortunately, we all look at, like my gaming heritage is like, I want to see the best thing possible. I want to see it visually, not just in the gameplay. But even like a lot of these kids that started out playing on their phones and stuff, or their mom's phone or their father's phone, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where I almost feel like Ubisoft is like, okay, we get more eyes on what we're doing. Like, let's say we put this in Game Pass and all of a sudden it goes to xCloud and everything else. Like, yes, people will, maybe they enjoy it on their phone, but they could still go and say, hey, I want to experience it better on a new console. So it sounds like a win-win for both, because we always see, these gaming companies drop their prices, and the more people that purchase even at the dropped price is going to make more sense to them. So, maybe Game Pass is not your thing. Maybe you do a 1 month trial and you're like, yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm not purchasing it again. I want to play this one game. It's not going to take me over a month. That's what I do. But then maybe it does take you over a month. Or maybe you find a game that's just sitting there in front of you and you're like, well, darn, like I didn't expect this there. I mean, I feel, damn. Do you want damn?
Darn.
Okay.
Crispy said darn. That's
I'm trying. Well, come on. Do I have to swear all the time? Is that what you need? Is that what you need, bot? I need to swear all the time. Okay. So you go to that, and then you go and say, like, you're sitting there and all of a sudden Doom Eternal pops up and you never played it, never purchased it, never did anything. And you're in that 1 month, period where you get a free 1 month, or it's for $1 for 3 months or whatever it is. And all of a sudden you're like, well, I got to try this game. I never played it. Why not play it? And that's what I feel like Phil's trying to do. He's just like, hey, we got all these games coming here. Yes, some of them are old. You don't know if Ubisoft could, I'm sure they have control over what they put on there. They could be like, you know what? Valhalla ain't doing good. You know what? Watch Dogs Legion ain't doing that great. Let's get some eyes on this. And we'll, if they're smart, they'll say, okay, it's going to be in Game Pass for 3 months. I mean, that's what I think these companies need to do if they don't want to have any hate involved at the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you took it out? How dare you? Like, you get 3 months to play this, and then after that, it's gone. So if you haven't beat it by then, if you haven't beat it by then, you could pay $20, with a percentage off if you purchase it through Game Pass, and you can get, that money, they get their money, and clearly, Xbox is going to pay them
$20 for a game that's only 3 months old.
Dude, I'm telling you, we've seen it. We've seen it, dude.
That is true, though. We have seen that.
We have seen it, but
know?
I can't see.
You're trying to get more. Like, let's say it's a
I can't see
multiplayer game.
I can't see
Let's say it's a multiplayer game. You're
Oh,
trying
hell
to
no.
get people.
That game, you're not going to get no $20 unless that game just didn't sell or do well overall.
Well, there's games that are multiplayer for free, K-Mag. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about from what your pay method. If you're talking about for paying $20, and if it's a game that's popular, it's not going to go down to no $20. It's going to be probably $40, but it ain't going to go down to no 20.
The
Unless it was
only
indie
there is one outlier that you're talking about, and that is called Nintendo. I don't know how they do it, and it could be multiplayer game, but other than that, I mean, most games like how many people talk shit about Gears 5 going to like $15 at one point? They don't care about they're getting a little bit of money, but then they're like, okay, let's get these people in there, and that's what we're going for at this point. Like, this is the future. Like, you're going to see more free-to-play games come up than you've ever seen. Like, we're talking about 5 or 6 that have come out in the past couple years, but you're going to see like, I think we're going to see like thousands within the next 5 years. I think you're going to see a lot of games go to that model and try to basically be a mobile device. And, Xbox is kind of helping that, but at the same time, if you go into Game Pass and they say you get all these DLCs, you get all this stuff, and if you want cosmetics or something, fine. You might have to pay for that, or you could earn it. I think Xbox is really like, hit that wall where they said like, we did too much on like, just be like, oh, you got to pay for everything, which they did with Gears 5 at the beginning. That shit pissed me off. I think everybody realizes that. I've said that 100 times, and now they've changed the model. But I feel like a game like that was kind of like an experiment, as I've said before. And you have to experiment. You have to do R&D. You have to figure out what's going to make you money, but at the same time, give at least a mental value of what's going on. And that's what I feel like they're doing. And I feel like if you add Ubisoft, they're not going to up the price because they haven't put out the first party yet to up the price. And that's the first thought.
Yo, and that's
okay,
that's what Swaz actually said in the chat. Yo, what is up, Swazi, my brother? Yo, bro, I would love to introduce the community to you as a special guest. So we're definitely gonna make that happen. But yo, Crispy, he said the same thing. He's like, when first party starts dropping, then you might see them.
Yeah, because you have exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. And that's the whole point. That's kind of the Netflix model. The dude that ran Netflix for a little while is now a part of Xbox again, even though he was there before. Kind of funny. So you have to understand that, like, they're looking at the Netflix model. Netflix has charged me an extra $2 for the past, like, 2.5 years. Okay? But I have the 4K package. It's more than Game Pass Ultimate. It is more. It's like $16.95, something like that.
Like 18, close to 20. But yeah,
it's between there. Like, but I don't look at it anymore because I still like their exclusive content. I have certain shows that I really enjoy, so I keep it because sometimes they'll drop something that may be third party or something. They're almost doing the same thing Netflix has done, and the thing that you have to realize that Microsoft has a shit ton of money compared to Netflix, and they're also not hemorrhaging money either. So you have money to spend all the time. They even have money that's not in stocks, that's just sitting behind, just saying, hey, we could buy ZeniMax. We could do this. We could do that. And they're saying, you know what? We need to get people to enjoy what we're bringing to them, but at the same time, we're still trying to build those exclusives. That's what I look forward to, because I want to be able to say Xbox does have exclusives, but right now we really, we can say the Gears, Halos, and Forzas, but other than that, it's like, what else we got? And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Right.
I mean, I didn't agree with that last part. I mean, if you didn't like the games that were exclusive to Xbox, that's a different story. But to say that they don't have any exclusives, kind of like you falling into that the stereotypical bullshit like you hear on the opposite side, where you can't play one and done, like one and done's. You can't go back and replay them. I mean, look, and also going to the one point about the older games. Look, there wouldn't be retro gaming channels and retro gaming events if people didn't care about older games. I think that, like, I know we're in here, we talk, we listen to all this stuff, and we absorb it. But I think sometimes we kind of get into, and I'm not telling, if Fred doesn't like older games, he doesn't like older games. If the next person that's listened to the show hates anything that's over 3 months, then I'm that's fine. But to say that there's not an audience, when you go and you look at some of the best sellers from Sega, which is older games like their classic collections, things like that. Sonic the Hedgehog is like their number one overall title, and that game is how many years old? I mean, it's older than some of these people that that listens to the show. So I mean, it's kind of crazy to me that people kind of just want to throw older games out the window just because some games look older. Listen, especially I know this as a person that loves fighter games, there's some ugly ass fighters out there, but the mechanics of those fighters still bring those nostalgic feelings. And especially, like, let's say if I want to go back to play Toshinden. Toshinden is hideous. It's a hideous looking game now, but the game still plays fun, fantastic. If I want to play Street Fighter EX3 or 2, the game doesn't look all that great, but it plays fantastic. And that's when I go back and look and think about it. It's just the eye of the beholder. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever that certain gamers like and some gamers don't. But to just discredit some older games, and when there's a lot of people, especially younger gamers who haven't even experienced those older games, and saying that they shouldn't be in there, I think that's that's going a little bit too far in my opinion.
I hear you. I mean, for me personally, there is at least visually there is a certain, like, there is a certain line. There are exceptions to the rule as well, depending on the type of game and stuff. Like I love, like, Super Nintendo generation, that whole 2D aspect and stuff. But like the beginning of the 3D generation, a lot of those games, even though they were fun to play when that generation was there, I will kind of pass up on them now just
Yeah,
because.
they're hard to play now, huh?
Yeah, they are really really ugly.
They're
But
rough.
yeah, rough. That is the nice way to say it. Yo, shout out to our brother Sir X Man hitting up the super chat. He says, "Hello, everyone. Happy pre-early New Year's." I like that, pre-early New Year's. Definitely like that. Yo, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the support. Um, Guys, we got to get into our year in review here, and I wanna start off with a bang. I want to start off with something big. So, we talk games. We're getting towards. I mean, we're right on the doorstep of 2021. When it comes to 2020, a lot of people, they just can't wait for this year to end. But there was a lot of really cool stuff, in terms of gaming. We got, a new console generation. We got big games dropped pretty much all year round, whether spring, fall, summer. There was big games all over the place and stuff like that. So with that being said, I want to kick off this whole year in review and ask you guys what your thoughts are. What was your biggest game of 2020 and why? And with that, I am going to go to the West Coast first, and I am going to start with none other than the Angry Otter himself. 2021 is right around the corner, man. We're right at the doorstep. So, when it comes to
Yeah, man.
2020, what was your biggest game of this year, brother, and why?
It was Ghost of Tsushima, um, because I grew up watching samurai movies, and that game just brought me back to my childhood, like, in a big way. So it just that game was so good, man. I actually, like, I have it downloaded on my PS5, but I haven't played it yet on the PS5. But I am planning on going back and actually playing it again because it was just so good. Um, I, I mean, really, I think that game was just like I don't know, man. That game just it hit something. It hit something close to home for me, and then it also just it just it plays so well. I'm hoping that they do some DLC with it. I doubt they will. I mean, they even did multiplayer, so maybe they
I was
might
gonna
do
say
some
like, and we didn't see
DLC.
multiplayer coming, so there's a chance for
Yeah,
DLC, man.
yeah, that's the thing. We didn't see multiplayer coming. I mean, I would have never guessed that they would have done that. And they did it, and it it's awesome. Like the multiplayer is awesome in that game. So they Sucker Punch really has solidified as being one of the top tier developers out there right now for sure for me.
Nice, nice, brother. I mean, you can't go wrong with Ghosts, man. It was a huge hit when it
Sure.
came out. Even kind of like diehard Xbox people, when it came to like a game of the year, when the VGAs came around, even diehard Xbox people were like, man, I hope Ghost wins. You know what I'm saying? And when you can see a game kind of cross that border and get gamers in the corner for that title, no matter what platform they prefer. I mean, that says something right there. It says that there is a quality title right there. So I definitely like that. Let's get to Predator real quick. Pred, dude, what is your biggest game of 2020, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with same thing Dark said.
Really?
Ghost. Uh, um, I had like I got that game and I fell in love with it when I got it. Like I mean, there's nothing I can't say anything negative about that game at all when I picked it up. So that's got to be it for me. Like I mean, Ori was great. I loved Ori too as well. But um, you know, if I had to compare the two, I think I got um, more fun out of Ghost, and the story was amazing. Everything about that game was good, and I didn't even play the multiplayer yet. I mean, just everything about that game. Once I turned it on and started playing it from start to finish, it was like I knocked that thing out of the park as soon as I got it. If I when I play a game from start to finish like that, it's because I like it. And there's only been 3 games this year that I've done that with. Ghost was one, Assassin's Creed was the other one, so was Ori. So all 3 of those games were great. Don't get me wrong, to me, but to me, I think Ghost of Tsushima was probably like my biggest game of the year. It was my game of the year anyway. Um, but just playing a game start to finish the way I did, and the story that was involved in that game, and um, the gameplay mechanics, just getting your guy leveled up and just walking into a village and it's like massacring everybody.
Yeah.
When you get that extra like kill streak or whatever you want to call it, or you can just walk in there and like 1, 2, and then power your guy up and just fucking this massacre and people run from you and shit because they're afraid of you. When you power up your character in that game, and I did it super early too. So like when I powered up my guy and I started going to these other villages, man, and like I was just like swipe, 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 kill, 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 and people would run from me. Like I was just like literally walking through villages because people were so afraid of my character, and it was crazy. Like, but I love that game though, man. And like, and I feel bad that I didn't put more time into it, even though I completed it, like completely platinumed it in like fucking 4 days. Like, I still feel bad that there's probably a little bit more shit I could have done just to make me feel better, and I didn't go back into it.
So,
So
so do you think you finished it too quickly, or is it just you were like,
no, I don't think I rushed it because like when I
Mhm.
finished it in 4 days, but it wasn't like I was just like I say four. I don't know how many days I put into it, but the same amount of hours I put in finishing that game were the same amount of hours anybody else would have put into it. Right.
Mm,
I just condensed it down to 4 days instead of spanning it out over 2 weeks, like some people would have done. Because like I said, when I get a game that I like, I know life it. I get up in the morning, I'll play it all fucking day. I'll go to bed, dream about it, wake up, in like 3 or 4 hours, and I'll play it again and play it all day again, and
right.
I'll finish it. So it's not that I beat it too quick. Like I said, I put the same amount of man hours into it that anybody else would have put into it, but I still feel like I could have gotten a little bit, squeezed a little bit more juice out of that orange had I just, um, went back and started doing I mean, I think I did like every side mission. There's not much else I could do. Like I've done everything, but
Mhm.
um, savoring that flavor a little bit longer just to say I did it wasn't going to get anything out of me. I still would have beaten the story and gotten the same satisfaction out of it had I beat it in 4 days or 40. So I feel bad that I beat it so quick. Like I guess that's the best way to say it. Because once me, once I'm done, when I'm done, I'll move on to the next game. But like I could have satisfied myself a little bit longer by spacing it out a little bit longer. But I mean, I still would have gotten the same satisfaction out of it at the end of the day. But it is what it is. So, but that was my game of the year. Like I don't want to drag this conversation.
Okay.
I love that game. It was a great game, great mechanics. And I don't play a lot of PlayStation games, but the ones I've played, I've beaten, I've always enjoyed. I really pick my PlayStation games out. I really like scrutinize the ones I pick and play, and that was one that I was really happy that I grabbed and played. So I enjoyed it.
Nice, brother. And I will throw mine in here at this point in time, and it was kind of hard because we had Battletoads came out this year, Ori 2 came out this year, and those were
A lot of stuff, man.
those were some serious contenders for me. But I think at the end of the day, with like how much gameplay there was, the speed and the fluidity of the gameplay, the graphics, and everything all put together, I gotta say Doom Eternal was my biggest game this year. And what they did with the verticality over the kind of like the soft kind of like reboot of Doom. And they went more vertical with Doom Eternal, and they had you like up in the air, a couple stories high, using a grappling hook, coming back down onto demons and stuff like that. The gameplay loop is just so incredibly well done for Doom Eternal. And like I said, it was close, man, because we got Battletoads, and of course
The last time I hear you say that shit ever.
yeah. And of course Ori 2. And Ori 2, man, the story is absolutely amazing, and the emotion that comes from Ori 2, like it was incredible. But all in all, total package wise, I gotta go with Doom Eternal. I think they did such a good job. Who is that in the chat? Yo, Kenta Wilson says Doom gives him motion sickness. Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. I actually have a few friends that certain games will get them, motion sick and stuff, and I feel bad for you guys. Fortunately that does not happen to me. I have not found a game that has done that. So, but K Mega, this is gonna be interesting, man. Your 2020, your biggest game of 2020, bro.
Woo, man, it is so close. And I'm gonna have to say it, man. It's Cyberpunk. I got
Ooh.
160
Dude, yeah,
hours
you
in.
are addicted to. Dude, I see nothing but gameplay clips on Twitter like all the time from you with Cyberpunk.
I got 160 hours. I got 160 plus hours in. I could easily been done with the game. Because there's a certain point when it says, just like in every game, you go to this point. It's the point of no return. I have been doing all types of side missions, all different types of just going in, just doing everything that I possibly can do in this game, and haven't had any vibes of just not wanting to be, just like, okay, I need to go ahead and finish this game and wrap it up. I have been so impressed with this game. It's knocked out, out of my top two, which was Wasteland 3 and Ghost of Tsushima. Like those were my favorite games of 2020 until this game. And I was just like, wait a minute, no, because the game's got bugs. It definitely needs to be. It definitely needs to get patched up on certain things. Now I haven't had nearly the crazy experiences that some people have been saying, where the game has crashed on them and done all different types of stuff to where it's unplayable and stuff like that. But
Yeah, like me.
but this game, you can get past the parts where if what I'm saying, where you've got the bugs and you'll see the the people moving around and crazy and shit like that sometimes. But you get into the meat of this game, the meat and potatoes of it. This game is deep. It is Witcher-esque, but in just modern times. And the city itself, this area, it's so enormous. And I catch myself when I'm going somewhere and I'm like, no, I don't want to want to jump in and just take a fast travel. I want to see how it feels to go from one end to this map, all from like one end to where there's like the wasteland area to the Badlands. And it takes you a minute to get through all that. That's how enormous this game is. And then all the while, you'll see certain stuff here pop up on your screen. And so I'll stop, get out, and it'll be a whole different scene. And one thing that I can actually say that I've experienced that I haven't experienced in a lot of other games is the side missions are damn near all different. The one thing that is kind of like the overkill is when you get the police things to where you go in and you gotta take out some perks or something like that one clip that I showed. That was one of those like regular missions where the police want you to go and take that. Those things you get a lot of those same type of elements, but the side missions themselves, they are all different. There is not one mission that is the same. Everything in this game is completely different from each side mission. And I've done hundreds of them so far, and I don't know how many more I got left. I don't have too many more left. That's how much I've been putting into this game, and the story is fantastic. When it gets it right graphically, everything's set in the tone, everything's right. It is by far should be a game of the year candidate. And the one thing that I think that was going to hold it back is, of course, all of the bad press and the fact that, of course, that that the game came out broken for the PlayStation 4 and for the Xbox One. But my God, this game is amazing. It is a game to behold. So if anybody that wanted to get their refund, they're still on the fence on doing it, don't. Just wait for the patch if just what you're waiting to do, because I promise you, when you jump into this game and until you get into the deep lore of this game, some of the creepiest shit, like one story, I don't know, there was one story, I'm not going to go into it fully, but it had to do with kids. It had one where, a husband thought, and these are side missions, and there was one, the husband thought his wife was cheating on him, come to find out, like, there was a whole crazy twist to it. So he had me to follow her. There was one crazy story where I'm looking for somebody. A fixer asked me to go look for this woman, and there's so many crazy twists and turns in this game. On top of the story, where it can get really intense, and I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty, so of course it's crazy. But even though when you get your stuff enhanced, you kind of become OP. But I don't know, man. This is the game. This is my game overall. I know I went long on it, but yeah,
wow.
Cyberpunk 2077 is my game of the year.
Dude, I love questions like this, especially, with this panel and just gamers in general, asking this in like an Xbox Live party, because to hear the excitement of somebody, describing their favorite game of the year or something like that, K-Mega, you got me pumped right there, man. I got pumped.
I mean,
I'm pumped for it.
Like everybody everybody said, I would have been right there with everybody. Probably would have gave Ghost of Tsushima over Wasteland 3, even though I really, really enjoyed Wasteland 3. But Ghost of Tsushima was just special. That was a game I feel like everybody should experience. That is a really dope ass game. Story was fantastic. Yeah. The graphically was absolutely beautiful. Like, I mean, I just felt like Sucker Punch just got robbed because they were the new kids on the block, and they were going against an old big dog, and they just wanted to put the young kid in their place. I felt like Ghost of Tsushima was just a way better game than The Last of Us 2, but that's it's all opinionated. I'm not going to tell anybody that loves The Last of Us 2 that it shouldn't have won. But this game here, Cyberpunk is legit. It was, you could tell that there was a lot of love put into it for what their vision was. That, you know, the rushing thing, it should have been held back for maybe a couple of more months. But my God, man! And then the love stories, like you got this love triangle thing, and you got to pick and choose, and then, you know, I don't know, man. You got Palm, you got that one chick with that, find out she's a lesbian, and then you got the other chick, the bar chick, and then, oh my God, bro. Then even you could even try to even play a part where you messing with the cop. Not messing with the cop, but you doing stuff for the cop, and the sister hits on you, and you might have man. This shit is dope. This game is fire. This game is fire. This game is fucking fire, bro.
Yo, nice. Yo, we gotta get Crispy in here. Yo, Crispy, brother, what was your biggest game of 2020, bro?
The game that gave me the most feels, that just kind of like blew my mind, as
PGA Tour 2K21.
You know, I was gonna just be like, my game of the year is PGA Tour 2K21, and just fuck with people, because it really is, and you already stole it, bot. Of course, you know, it's the bot show. That's the way I feel.
Hold on, really? That's your game of the year?
It is Doom Eternal, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. The soundtrack at the beginning, like when you boot it up and you're starting to get amped up, and then you get into the game and you just feel like nothing can stop you, and then they fucking stop you, and they stop you again,
and again.
They stop you again. And they just smash your face in with that twisted T up in here. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Yes. And it's one of those games that gets you amped up, and then you feel like a god, and you start going through it, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, I'm gonna smash you. You got this. Yeah, you got this. No, you don't. No, you got this. No, you don't. And it keeps doing that to you. And it's one of those games that I'm still playing through it, but it's one of those games like I have to stop, because it's getting me so amped up and revved up with that soundtrack that it pisses me the hell off. So then I have to stop, because then I'm gonna break the $200 controller I have. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna throw it against the wall and be like, fuck this. And I don't get this from a first person shooter, number one, but also a single player game. I don't get this. And that's why I have to say it has to be my game of the year. Now, honorable mention would have to be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. They really made that game next gen. And the only reason why it's not my number one is because it's not technically a new game. But they've also added a shit ton of new characters. They really gave you a total revamp of what Tony Hawk meant to me and even Bot. I have to give that an honorable mention, because they kept as much soundtrack as they could, but also added new things. It really is a new game, but it's still a remaster to me.
And
so I have to give it second place
of the original games. I think that is the main thing. Yeah, definitely, brother. I definitely appreciate you mentioning Tony Hawk on that, man. And yo, shout out to Sir X-Man, who hit up the super chat and he said PGA Golf 2K21 Game of the Year, right, Xbot? And dude, I've definitely gotten a lot of play of that game, and it is definitely the best golf game I have ever played. And a lot of it has to deal with the community, the people that are in the DM that come together and play that golf game together and stuff like that. Of course, yeah, I play the career and I get into it, but I think the jewel of it is having Sir X-Man, Crispy, Midway, Vertigo, K Mega, everybody who plays that game together. I think that is the jewel of that game, because through 18 holes, the stuff that we talk about and the stuff that gets mentioned and the jokes and the movie quotes and everything like that, it is a great time every time, and I absolutely love that game. If anybody is on the fence on whether or not they should get PGA 2K21, I say definitely get it, and then let me know. I will add you in the DM on Twitter, so this way you will always have people to play with in that game. But yeah, that was awesome. Did I miss anybody on the panel when it comes? Because I know we got Ghost with Pred. And, okay, we got everybody on that. We're moving.
I do want to say that my friends and her and my wife, I should say my wife's friend, um, have come. She played golf, and then they found out that I had the golf game, and so since me and her game share, and so they're going to start playing golf. They just got to the point where they're going to start creating their characters and stuff. So I'm tripping out. Like, what? What's going on here? So so they're pretty excited about the golf.
I would like to say that our DM has started a revolution when it comes to golf games, and there are a lot of people. Shout out to 108 Dragons who gets into it as well. K Mega, you got to come back in and play with us some more, man. Like,
I am. Once I get done with this, I'll be back in, man.
Yeah, well, you're cyberpunk hooked right now, man. If anybody follows you on Twitter, they already know, like, you're all about that cyberpunk life right now.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to get in a little more interesting, when it comes down to it, a little more food for thought here. Conspiracy theories are a thing, especially in this world. Even in the gaming industry. And 2020, there was a bunch of conspiracy theories that were put out there, whether it was gaming news, whether it was certain leaks, that and whatnot. So, biggest conspiracy of 2020. And for me personally, I'm going to throw mine out real quick, had to be the footage that leaked for The Last of Us Part 2, because the conspiracy behind it was a developer's family member, and because the developer wanted to get back at the studio for kind of like how do you say, unfair or unsavory working conditions, trying to get that game done in terms of overly excessive crunch and stuff like that, which never really formulated to much, but I still think that the conspiracy theory has some validity to it. I still think there was truth behind that, even though we never necessarily heard who actually released the footage. But to me, that was the biggest conspiracy theory. Who wants to take it? Who wants to take this one first from the panel? What was your biggest kind of like gaming conspiracy theory for 2020? Who's got this? Anybody?
I
can't think of any.
Cyberpunk one.
Okay, go ahead, Pred. What are you talking about when it comes to Cyberpunk?
Well, I mean, you have to think about the life cycle of the game. I know the game was in development for a long time, but the game was supposed to release in, I think, early 2020, like March, April timeframe, right? And then they pushed it back, and then they pushed it back again, and then they released the custom console and controllers and fucking everything for it.
I think we know somebody on the panel who purchased that console.
And and so like that game was supposed to release then. And it didn't. They pushed it back again, and they pushed it back again, and then it came out, and it sucked on performance-wise on the consoles that they were going to originally release it for. So, to me, and they had the whole crunch thing too, which I think was another part of that aspect of it, where I think they were just trying to get the game out before the holiday season. Somehow, in some way, shape, fashion, or form, just have it out there for whatever reason to get it in that holiday push. So, to me, I think it was a fail for them to push the game out like they did. And I know, like, a lot of us just really wanted the game bad. Like, they were selling graphics cards, like custom graphics cards from the 2080 came out with the Cyberpunk, everything on it too. So, for them to come out and do all that work, especially the custom console, that's marketing. the the custom graphics cards and stuff like that, all that work, and then have it finally released on the consoles and the cards that it was originally made for. Um, and it looked like crap, played like crap, on those. Like it's not like even PlayStation pulled it from the store. Um, People were getting refunds for it, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that was a foul to me. I mean, like you have a game that you delayed for specifically for these consoles, and it doesn't even work on those consoles. Like my Series X version that I have is fine. My PC version that I haven't had any issues with. But for the people who like
Series
myself,
X doesn't have a version, by the way.
I'm sorry, the One X. You know what I mean? Um,
Dude, I've corrected so
yeah,
many
sorry.
people with that.
I keep doing that shit too. I keep doing it too. So my bad on that. But for that game to come out on the Series X and the PlayStation 4, and to run the way it did, even with all the crunch talk, et cetera, that's a foul. Um, Especially when that game was supposed to come out. Imagine what that game would have looked like had it came out in March.
You know, I think the conspiracy theory in that is the fact that people are stating that it was pushed back, and what they were doing is they were upgrading and polishing it on the newer generation consoles. They weren't really focusing on it was playable on the one X and the PS4, but that wasn't their main focus when they were delaying it. They wanted to make sure it was at least running as smooth as it could be, and graphically pleasing without them actually doing the next gen version yet. I think that was probably the conspiracy part to that whole thing.
Yeah, but like, okay, people went out and bought a 2080 Ti for this game. People also went out and bought a 3080 Ti for this game, because they knew it was going to be a beast, right? People went out and bought consoles for this game, like, and whether you want to believe that or not, there are some people who know shit. They especially in the PC space, they went and got graphics cards for this game because they knew the shit they had was not going to run this game the way it needed to be run, with the ray tracing, et cetera, et cetera. So for them to release it in the state that it was in, I think that was a foul. And again, I go back to the whole point, like this game was supposed to release in like March. If you can imagine what this game would have looked like in March on these consoles, on the One X. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the One X and the PlayStation 4, at the time, like, and they came out looking like in the state they're in now. What the fuck were they doing the whole time? What were they doing?
Yeah.
And it's almost like they just took money from people to kind of, to promote the game. And when the game came out, they still didn't have it running. If anything, I would have been like upset, but I would have kind of understood if it didn't run as well on the Series X and the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But like for it to not run on the console that was made for,
Thank
it
you.
doesn't run that well. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, why did you even push it back? What was the problem back then that you didn't fix? That now all of a sudden you're trying to push it for the new consoles? Then why release on new? I mean, I kind of think you kind of had to. I mean, you don't sell controllers, consoles, graphics cards, and then say, never mind, we're not gonna put it on that system. But like, if they would have got it running on that first, and then like said, hey, we'll release the Series X version in, say, I don't know, February, I might have been okay with that. But they did it ass backwards. They kind of got it right on the PC side and the Series X side, and kind of screwed over the people that were back in last gen.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, that was those were the platforms that game was specifically made for. Because if it wasn't for the delays, those are the platforms it would have been out on. I definitely hear you on that one, bro. Anybody else on the panel have a conspiracy?
I got one. Okay. So
It's different
everybody
from
thought that
controversy. Different from controversy.
no, it's
Conspiracy.
it's conspiracy.
Okay.
Yes, that WB Games is going to be bought by Microsoft. Correct? Everybody remember that one?
Yes.
We went a couple months with that one, and here's what's funny: a lot of people don't realize. A little bit before that, I seen a couple tweets that I actually found. Okay, that said that ZeniMax or Bethesda was going to be bought by them. And then all of a sudden it comes out that WB Games is coming out. And they're going to be the ones that are going to be bought. And then everybody said, "Oh, Bethesda, no way." Well, guess what? It's happened. It's going to be finalized in the next couple months. And it's just funny that everybody just, ignored the fact that a few people, not a lot, just a few people said that it was Bethesda ZeniMax, and then we all completely ignored it, including myself. And it's weird that, we went to WB because it was more purchasable at the time, and they still haven't sold as of now, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a little strange that we go back like 6 to 8 months and we may have been talking about this on this very podcast, and they haven't sold, and they were willing to sell from what we saw. So that's a huge conspiracy. I don't know what involved in it, but apparently, WB Games is just going to keep on going, and you can ignore all the stuff we said at the beginning of the year.
Yo, true that. True. That, Crispy, that was awesome right there. Anybody else? Yo, Dark, K Mega, do you guys have a conspiracy here?
Honestly, I can't even think of anything that was big enough for me to even care about.
You are not a tinfoil hat wearer, are you?
No, I'm not.
Fred kind of basically talked about the what I was kind of wanting to talk about a little bit. I agree with some of his take on it. I just come to look at it as, they got too greedy. They what they needed to do is, once they realized that they couldn't, well, they had to finish up on the new consoles first. Oh, well, lastly or whatever. And then they realized that they wanted to enhance the new consoles, and they should have had another company come in and work on the older consoles. I mean, that's kind of like what we've seen with what Respawn has done and others. So that was just one of those things where CD Projekt Red was just greedy. They wanted to have all the money for themselves instead of investing into someone else to try to get
all that smoke. They want it all.
Yeah. I mean, look, the game. There was a lot of investors on it, and I think there was a lot of pressure, not only from those investors that was like, man, you got to get this game out, but it was gamers as well, because they were like, man, if they come out with another delay, I'm just going to say fuck it. I'm not even going to worry about the game. So it was a catch-22. They got what they deserved on the situation, for where, people got their refunds, things like that. I think was it overboard with the whole delisting? Absolutely. I mean, because there's been plenty of games that's been awful as well at launch, completely broken, and they didn't get delisted. So I just thought that was just like one of those bullshit ass moves or whatever. But I guess the only thing that I can just go for is probably the Halo thing. I think that was overblown as well, because it was necessary that they needed more time. And I know that there's, everybody wants to keep talking about scenarios. Well, what if Xbox brought the game out at the state of that was an old build for one. The game would have looked better than what we've seen, but it wouldn't have been as polished. And so forth, I don't think that I don't know. Halo could have came out looking fine, I guess, but the old build, I think where the criticism belongs is who decided to let that trailer come out to the public like that, because that wasn't it. Like, I mean, there was some great there was some scenes that were really fantastic, and then there were some scenes that looked bad. So because you could tell with the gameplay of the game, it ran fantastic. There was nothing wrong with the gameplay aspect of it, but there was just some things that just didn't work, cosmetically and well, cosmetic wise, or with the backgrounds and stuff like that. That was just a fail on whoever decided to green light that to come out from 343, or if it was from Xbox management, whoever. But that was a fail. But the game itself probably would have looked fine. But
dude, when I saw that brute throw the
Yeah.
suicide grunt at Master Chief, I was all in, man. Like, that was amazing.
Yeah, no, I thought that's what I'm saying. Like, there was some really cool scenes in it or whatever. And I mean, I had my moments where I was like, man, this game looks great. Then I'm like, but there's some things about it that's off. And then the more I watched it, the more I kept watching it, the more I was realizing, like, man, this old aesthetic is just looking ratchet. I don't understand it. I don't know why people want to go back to this old ass Halo 3 look or whatever. And then then there was people that was trying to make fun of not Craig, but the main boss that's going to be in Infinite, and the close up and things like that. Saying it looked cartoony or whatever. I thought it looked good, but yeah, it could have looked more polished. But again, it was from an old build, and that's where I think where all the controversy it came from my perspective of it, not so much about what the game was going to be looking like. Because if the game was going to come out like 2 weeks from that point when they showed it, then yeah, there's a lot to be concerned about. But that was showed in early June. We're talking about now. We're in December. I mean, that was just a month from when the game was supposed to be released. I know the game would have looked a lot better than what it showed, but giving it the more time, I think it was the best decision for Microsoft for sure. And that's probably my biggest controversy, other than the whole tribalism thing. But that's that's a whole nother
Do you
thing.
think they would have released the game had it not been for the Craig fallout?
That's the question that I know that there are some people that's saying, and I mean, the game would have looked better. That's what I'm saying, because it was an old build. They said that the build that what they showed was something from early February, March. So I think that the game was pretty much already ready to go, because I mean, you could see how the gameplay looked, and I mean how the gameplay felt. Well, not felt, but looked in how fast and fluid that it was. I just think that maybe that I think that, like I said, the one problem would have been is that the whole controversy going into the launch would have been the whole Craig thing. And if there was anything that looked similar to Craig, or any piece of armor or something that looked off, or a background that had pop in or something, they would have tore 343's ass up. So it was the right decision to do it. And it was the stupid decision to make, to show that old footage like that. They should have just had a new build, or just showed that trailer and then just let it go. That should have been the best thing that they could have done, and then got scrutinized for that, and then still showed those pics like they were showing of the multiplayer, and then I think people would have backed off. But yeah, no, it was it. I don't know. That's one of the things where we just don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. So, I don't. I mean, I can't call it. I mean, because they felt confident enough to show it to where they felt like the game was going to come out and it was going to be fine at launch. But again, all the controversy, the crunch, then the whole thing that there was people at 343 that had problems, that those articles came out where they were saying where there was workers that were I don't think that they were like hired on, where I think they were like I forget, contractors that were working and saying how talented they were, but then they act like the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing, and there was the mismanagement and a lot of controversy going on within the studio itself. And so that turned out to be a bigger problem than I think than Halo itself. It just was like 343, it's always getting the scrutiny, and then you add on to this, the pile on just begun. So I think it was just everything culminated into one, and they were just like, fuck it, let's just put this thing back in the oven and let it rest until next year, and let all this, and just show pictures, and then we can show the multiplayer, and then by this time going into next year, people will forget about the whole controversy situation, and Halo will be fine. So I don't know. That was just the best. That was the smartest decision Phil's made, I think, and since he's been there. Phil's done a lot of great things, but I thought that was smart as hell of Phil to do that, man. Because I they were just waiting to pounce. They were ready to pounce
Well,
if Halo didn't live up to the expectation.
Well, the funny thing is with you talking about Halo, you actually made a really really great segue into the next like category here, which is the biggest disappointment of 2020. And the reason why it's a segue is because Halo Infinite's delay is my biggest disappointment. And I hear you talking about where points in time where the gameplay looked good and there was other points where it looked bad. Again, I think it is 343 trying to cater to the old school Halo community that actually got all this underway. So in terms of the game not coming out this year, of course, yes, that is my biggest disappointment. But I think within that, my bigger disappointment is one of the things I had hoped 343 would never do was lend their ear to that old school Halo community and try to please them when it came to the overall aesthetics and maneuverability or mobility when it comes to the game. So I am actually happy that you can still run, you can still climb things and stuff like that in Halo Infinite. I'm glad that they kept that in there, but I think a lot of the stuff that people were disappointed with in terms of the graphics and the visuals was the fact that they did try to go back and kind of, I guess you can say, upgrade Halo 1's visuals to this gen, and I don't think it really panned out the way a lot of people wanted it to. And when it comes to that strict old school Halo community, I think 343 has to realize that they are not going to make them happy unless they just recreate Halo 3. That's all that community really wants, just recreate Halo 3 over and over and over again. So my biggest disappointment was the fact that, I feel like 343 was listening to a part of the Halo community that they really, really shouldn't give like a lot of airtime to. And kind of like the result of that is I wasn't playing, Halo Infinite on its original launch date, which is my biggest disappointment. So I don't know, Angry Otter, I know you got to have a biggest disappointment of 2020, dude. What is your biggest disappointment? And you cannot say Battletoads, by the way. So
honestly, I think a lot of people would think that I was gonna probably say Cyberpunk, but that's not the
your
case.
PS5 is your biggest disappointment.
No, actually, my biggest disappointment isn't actually my biggest disappointment of this year isn't actually a video game. It's
a
the
YouTuber
community.
named Xbot448.
No, it's the gaming community. I was very disappointed with the gaming community, how they treat certain people of this community. There was a lot of things that were done.
Names here, brother?
Damn it, Dark! Like that was mine too. Like what the hell?
Yeah, that was mine as well.
there was just a lot of things that people did that I think, were just like, come
Can I
on,
get some
guys,
examples
like,
here? Because I don't. What are you talking about here?
I mean, the whole thing that recently with Colt Eastwood, the whole thing with, people, basically just being nasty towards each other. And I get it. I mean, it's a gaming thing, but like people were just being completely ridiculous with a lot of the stuff this year that were just like, I mean, it might chalk up to just being this year alone with just how people had to be at home for the majority of their time. But I just felt like a lot of people were just being, being dicks just to be dicks, like they were just saying stuff that I was just like, what are you guys? Why are you guys acting like this? Like this isn't what gaming's about. Gaming's about, and it could have been that some people who are not part of the gaming community might have chimed in to fuel that fire a little bit, because I've seen dude, there's so many people I've seen on Twitter that I was like, I have no idea who this person is. I've never seen this person before. I've never even seen, I didn't even know they were part of the gaming community until they said one thing on Twitter. Like I was just like, what the fuck is going on, like I felt like we could do better, and that we can be better as people, because we all enjoy games. That's what it's about. It's about enjoying the games. It's not about Xbox and PlayStation, which one's better, which one's got the best games. It's what we enjoy. If somebody enjoys a certain console over you, why does that bother you so much? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. Like, I don't get why that bothers you. That shouldn't bother you. What it should do is just be like, oh, okay, that person likes something else that I don't like. I'm not even gonna pay attention to that person. Or just be like, oh, whatever. Like I don't see. I've seen a lot of people this year alone just go out of their way to just say something to somebody, and I was just like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like I feel like some of these people are just mentally ill, man. Some of these people are just I don't know. It's weird. There was just a lot of things that just kind of irked me. It was just like, but I don't I don't comment on it or anything like that, because I don't want to fuel their fire. Like, I don't want to make a big deal out of what they're doing, because then it just creates more of it. So like I tend to, when I see something, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just like, these people are just stupid or trolling or whatever. But I think some people this year took trolling to a whole nother level, like a ridiculous amount of level. Like, I was just like, some of the stuff, man, like, I mean, even like some of the stuff that people would say to Porter Rock, or even K Mega. Like, I mean, I remember some people would say stuff to K Mega, and I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, let the man enjoy what he enjoys. Like, so what if he doesn't enjoy what you enjoy? Like, does everybody feels like, I feel like everybody wants everybody to be the same as them. Like, weren't you raised? I mean, I know I was raised to be different than everybody else. I was raised to be, independent from everybody else. To have my own opinion, to have my own way of thinking. So I don't understand, like, some of the logic behind some of these people and some of their comments, some of the things that they were doing. It was just honestly, this whole year was just shitty, man. Honestly, it was terrible. Terrible year.
A lot of people want to take 2020 and throw it in the garbage, man. For
to the
worldwide
bushes, 2020 to the bushes.
For worldwide stuff, beyond gaming and stuff like that. But when you look at it, there was a lot of good in 2020 as well in terms of gaming.
There was, like, games. There was a lot of good games this year. We got a lot of good stuff, but it was just like the community was just I don't know. It was really mainly the Twitter community. I didn't really see it too much, like, when I was, like, in parties with people. But if I was in parties at all this year, I don't even remember.
I don't even remember if I was being social or not. Like,
I really don't.
But all right, Crispy. Biggest disappointment. You heard what Dark said. I guess you have something similar, but I'm pretty sure there's a Crispy, like, twist to this somewhere, right?
It is the gaming community. We are at the point where we have to realize that people have their own gosh darn opinions. You have to understand it. You have to, if you disagree, that's fine. Let's have a conversation about it. Now, I'll tell you this, especially lately, I see a lot of Xbots and a lot of ponies putting out tweets about how Hive Busters looks better and how Uncharted 4 on the original PlayStation looks better. Dude, stop. Just stop. Why aren't we enjoying the games that we enjoy? Stop trying to prove everything to everybody else. Start playing the games. Because I'll tell you right now, I follow PlayStation and Xbox people, and I see a lot more Xbox showing me actual gameplay. And that's when I go and say, you know what? You could beat the game, but apparently it's so much easier to do it on one console to the other to share stuff, even though I see more people doing one thing than the other. And they're enjoying the games. That's the whole gosh darn point of gaming. Enjoy the games that you have. Yes, there's a lot of people like myself that even if I wanted to buy a PlayStation, I would still buy an Xbox because I'm already in the ecosystem, everything else. I know it's the same for PlayStation side. Let's start looking at the actual picture. Stop acting like we're a bunch of asshats that don't know what the hell's going on. People are enjoying the games they want to play. Get your head out of your ass. Stop the bullshit. Now, other than that, we got to understand that there's no reason to be hating each other right now. What? Because you're sitting at home and have nothing better to do? Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely joking right now? Because if you are on Twitter more than playing games, how am I supposed to take you seriously? When you come at me, or you come at somebody that has the same opinion as me, and because you know who I am and you don't want to argue with me because I usually trash your stupidity that you bring out there, they all of a sudden you're going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm not talking to you. Well, you're trashing somebody that doesn't have any type of name, that doesn't have
Didn't that happen to you
a
today?
platform. The other day, I'm sorry, like, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, that's cool. You could just trash the person that just had the same opinion as me and literally just said that, and then you're gonna start talking to him, and he didn't talk to me. Well, you put the tweet out. I said, no, I don't like that. Even though, everybody's like adaptive triggers, everything else. I'm like, yeah, cool. Okay, I don't want that because I'm a competitive gamer. I don't want that. I'm sorry. I don't want anything else. I've had 5, Elite Series, Elite controllers. My Elite Series 2 is starting to screw up. I don't need any other components involved. I got enough. Okay, maybe you haven't experienced that. I understand that, but I don't need more components. I don't need adaptive triggers. I don't need any of that. I don't want it. Okay.
Adaptive triggers aren't all what they're cracked up to be honest. Like,
well,
I have the controller,
and I'm not.
Like, they're not special.
And this is the problem. I just see, because I follow enough PlayStation gamers, I see them having issues with them now. And I'm being logical, and I'm saying I've had enough problems with the right bumper or the left bumper of my Elite controllers that
I'm just saying
don't add, you know what I'm saying? Don't add nothing else. Like, just please don't. Like, there's already enough going on, and I'm Elite, that's why I bought so many. I love the Elite controller. I love how it fits in my hand, how I can play with the bumpers, everything. That's why I go and say, like, these companies, like both of them, have not done what I think is right. Like, throw a couple bumpers in the back with the controllers that come in the box. Like, that's the whole point. Like, dude, like, why are you arguing with people about what they experience? That's the whole point. Like, stop. Like, I tweet stuff out to let people know. I don't sit there and be like, trashing on people and be like, oh, screw PlayStation, oh, screw Xbox because they do this and that. No. There's a lot of things happening. Like Cyberpunk is all screwed up, but K Mega's loving it. Am I gonna be like, yo, K Mega? What are you?
Why
talking
you love
about?
trash,
What you
K
mean?
Mega?
You know
Why
what I'm
you
saying?
love broken
what I mean?
For liking
trash?
that game, man.
Dude, you love the game. I actually, from what I've experienced, I love it. I don't have 100 and some hours in it. But I mean, my God, if you're playing it that much, I know K Mega. I know he can be like, nah, this game isn't right now. I'm gonna stop. No, he keeps playing it. So whatever's going on his end is perfect. But some people aren't experiencing that. I understand what Dark's saying, like, hey, I'm not experiencing the same thing. And you know what? It's not the type of game that maybe I don't like. Something like that. Like, dude, stop, dude. Just stop and think about. People have their own gosh darn opinions. That's the way it goes. We are a part of a society, and everybody has a different opinion. Look at freaking politics. We should be better than this. We're almost going in the politic realm. Like, dude, if a Raiders fan is like, oh, you Chiefs are trash because they beat us that week, and I go and say, yeah, okay, it's cool. And then all of a sudden, we're 14-1. How about them apples? What's good, bro? No, I ain't even going to say nothing. I already said what I had to say. Yeah, we'll see. That's it. You don't have to feed into everything. You don't have to be a part of your community all the time. Like there was Chiefs fans that were just talking trash the whole time. And I'm just like, yeah, we'll see. That's it. Like, you got to understand that everybody has their own gosh darn opinion. They have their own fandom. Okay, not necessarily calling people fanboys or fangirls. You have your fandom. You enjoy what you enjoy, but don't disrespect somebody if they're being respectful to you as well.
Exactly.
Okay, Crispy, you went off there a little bit, brother. Just a little bit, man.
Dude, honestly, I don't blame him. To be honest, like, he's right. Shit went bullshit this year. It really did.
Oof, man,
It was a lot of bullshit.
I felt a breeze coming straight off the mic. It was just blowing my hair back. For people who follow me on Twitter, you've seen the picture with my hairnet and all that good stuff. It was blowing my hair back real quick. But
you have hair?
Yo, Predator, man, what's your biggest disappointment of 2020, bro?
Well, I'm gonna change it up because everybody's been getting onto the community. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Scalpers.
What?
Yeah,
a good one, dude. Good one.
They fucked up a lot of people. I'm sorry, I'm eating right now.
Yeah, we can all tell you're eating right now, bro.
Just getting into like this generation, like whether it was a graphics card, whether it was a PlayStation 5 or Xbox, like, they fucked up a lot of people's dreams. To be honest with you, like there are people out there who still cannot get their hands on any of those. I was lucky enough to fucking put the time in and put the work in and get mine, but there's kids out there right now who still cannot get a PlayStation 5, who still cannot get an Xbox, still cannot get a fucking graphics card for their fucking PC because some motherfucker is out there with like 60 of them.
Well, I was going to say they can, but they're going to have to pay triple the price right now.
Yeah, I'm like, and it's like, dude, that's not why we're consumers. We want new shit. We want, new games. We want new hardware. And if you're hoarding the hardware that people need for the holidays, that's almost as bad as those guys at Lizard Squad crew a couple of years ago that when the new consoles came out, they were, blocking people from getting online and playing on their games. Like, why would you do that's like the dumbest shit ever. But I don't know. I mean, to me, I think that's the foul. Maybe it's a community issue as well. Like for those people to go by, I get it, to try to make some money, make an extra buck, whatever, during a pandemic. But dude, like seriously, there's no reason for somebody to have more than maybe 3. You're trying to make some money, that's fine. I get it. But people are like literally like 50 consoles. There's no reason to have that many fucking consoles. ever. Like I don't understand that. Like just to sell them for like double, triple the cost. It's like you're screwing over like people like like Xbot, fucking people here in the chat. Some little fucking 4-year Timmy, the guy we always name.
Timmy.
Like Timmy wants a fucking PlayStation. Like let that motherfucker get a PlayStation. Like why are you hoarding that shit from him? And it just like I don't get it. It's like some people don't understand. Like even like, and it was so bad. It'd be different if they were like legitimately like getting them right. They were like going into the store, buying it, or ordering it online and buying it. Right? They had to resort to
Bots.
Scalping the shit and using bots on the computers to get the shit and screwing everybody out of it. So like to me, the scalpers this generation, this year, like from the launch of the 3080 up until the other graphics card that came out, like all through that whole phase, from the 3080 through that with the consoles sandwiched in between there, they kind of fucked over a lot of people. And even now, we still don't have an end in sight. I mean, like I don't think you can get a PlayStation 5. I don't think you can get a Series X. I don't think you can get a 3080, 3070, a 3090. A biscuit, fucking, like
a biscuit.
A spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes. Like it's like people are just doing the dumbest shit this year for the fear of missing out on something. And
You just remind me I'm hungry.
but like I mean, so to me the scalpers kind of, I think they're the biggest issue right now. Like that's what bothered me this whole generation, at least this whole year anyway. The scalpers. I think to me that's a big thing, because I mean I wanted all that new shit. I wanted all of it. So like it should have been a lot easier for people to just walk into a store to get it, or order online, but they just scalped it and they're just holding it to try and make a buck off of everybody. So.
Brother, that was a great choice right there. It's funny because even when I was thinking about, I didn't even put that into my mindset. I didn't even think about that. And when you said that, man, that was that is, yo, dude, I can't argue with you on that one either, man. With everything that has been said and done, with all the pictures we've seen on social media with the people with hundreds of PS5s and Series X's.
Ridiculous,
and oh man, yeah, dude, it definitely
Think about little Timmy.
Yeah, damn it, Timmy. Timmy always gets screwed over. Everything happens to little Timmy. K Mega, what's up with your disappointment, man? I think it's community based, but as usual, I think you got your own twist to it as well, man. What's going on here?
Yeah, I just think it's just it's a lot of things that what Fred and I mean everybody said. I mean, because it's all really kind of community based, but I think it's, for me, it's this impatience. Everything has to be today. For instance, I mean, the controversy of games, Cyberpunk. You look at how Fallout 76 was just a broken mess. You see games like Days Gone that was rushed and it shouldn't have been, and then it seems like people, the favoritism thing is what bothers me more than anything. It's like, if you're going to have the same energy about, if you're going to be bitching about one thing, you have to have the same energy about another. You can't come and tell me that, well, this game needs all the time that it wants, but then yet you want to have people to make this discussion about, well, Halo should have been out now. Why Halo has been in production for I don't know how many months and I'm saying how many years, and now it's been 5 years. Why is it taking so long? But then The Last of Us 2 took damn near a decade. So I don't. It's like gamers themselves have lost themselves into the crumb side, but then they swear that they don't want to be a part of it. And that's the downfall of what and this is going to be really, and I've said this, I made a video about this a long time ago, probably about 3.5 years ago, where I said, well, and I guess you wouldn't consider that to be a long time ago, but it's where I was saying,
it's
like,
long
you
in
don't
YouTube
want to have
years.
Yeah, YouTube years. You don't want the outside the outside noise to corrupt what's going on into the gaming community. You just don't want them to have the loudest voice, and it's too late. They have the loudest voice. The bitching about everything. I mean, I'm just looking at some stuff about Ninja griping out a dude that wasn't that good, and the dude sit there and I'm 17. Well, he didn't sound 17, regardless of the fact. Just get better, or don't even play with it. To call Ninja a dick, and so what? Shut up, rich white boy, and get on out of the party. Who cares, right? Stop trying. Just don't. There is no reason for this. Is inexcusable. And then I posted some stuff. I seen BG post where this kid who was streaming, he's getting lit up. But the fact of it is that, like, if you have been in a competitive area, if you've been in the sports, I'm sure the military, any venue that has to do with people that's coming for your throat, or they expect to win, they're going to talk the most shit to you that you've ever had in your life. You can I was raised, you get out there and the old people used to call it the dozens. But we, in my days, we used to call it ragging, and now it's called whatever. Now I have no idea what it's called now. But when people just come in and you clowning each other and talking a little trash, and then you go on with your day. Either you're strong-willed enough to handle it, or you're not. But don't be here 1 minute on the internet shit talking. Then when the shit talking gets serious back to you, then start trying to make out some things about, I have problems in my family. I don't think that it's right for people to come after me like this. Or you got people out here that's making crazy ass jokes about a pandemic. And then you got people that defend that bullshit. Then you got other people out here that wants to sit here and I mean, listen, either we're going to have a spine or we're not. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at it. For my thing, it's like, people say block people, stuff like that. And I have started to block people. But reporting people and shit like that, no, I'm not involved into that bullshit. I don't care what the fuck, what I'm saying? I just move them away out of my life. I just mute them, or I don't speak to them. I don't deal with them. I don't be bothered with them. If there's any type of toxic shit that spews out, and then if I can't communicate with you and without like backstabbing bullshit or dumbass rumors that come out of nowhere, or if there's some crazy this or that, I am out. I don't listen. This is about video games. When I first got into this thing, it was about video games. When I get out of this, it's going to be about video games. I don't care about the bullshit ass controversy drama. I don't care about there's somebody that's supposed to be wanting to find me and want to come and see me at a 7-Eleven somewhere and want to fight. You get your ass shot up. You keep fucking around. I ain't got no time for no dumb shit. I'm talking about video games. Bro, it is crazy. It is absolutely disgusting of how it's from all different sides. It's what I'm saying. Sadly, I keep seeing more and more Xbox people trying to go this route.
Yeah,
it's what we've seen from these PlayStation stands. You know what I'm saying? So what? Let them have more followers or listeners. That shit's gonna die quick. Eventually, everything has a cycle. If you remember how when YouTube first came out, everybody was about kumbaya, gaming is great, it's all this and that. Then, of course, just because there's people out there that just likes to see train wrecks, controversy sells, it's good, the fake reality TV shit, okay, fine. But that shit plays out after so long. I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying? I saw that rumor about Sony getting bought out by Xbox, by Microsoft. I would pray to God that would happen. Not because of some fanboy bullshit, just because it would destroy 95% of these channels out here that spews this corrupt
for
bullshit.
Sure.
It would be done. It would be over. You know what I'm saying? It would get back to the back to what gaming is supposed to be traditionally about, just a bunch of gaming nerds that love talking about video games and talking about what's important. Not about the sales aspect, not about who's better about from this standpoint, that standpoint, because the gaming media has now allowed this bullshit to spew into their bloodstream, and it's a constant, gross, just cesspool of shit. It's
because they're dying, man. That's
right.
That's
I know.
why. because
Yeah.
the media like that they're dying, so they have to come up with some way to survive, and they figure, well, if we get into this cancel culture stuff, then we'll survive, and eventually that shit's gonna go away too. It's a fad.
Yeah,
Everything
that's all
becomes
it
a
is.
fad.
And
It's
I'm
just
looking at
it's happening.
what Christopher Hart is putting. He says, but K Mega, but gaming community has grown since there are different audiences now. Some have different types of conversations. Bullshit. Hey, look, if it's fine to have bullshit conversations, but you can't sit there and you can't tag. And this is the thing. I'll make my posts and I don't tag anybody. I don't say anything, but here they come. Everybody's got to have something to say about what I post. But then when I get tagged with something, you normally see me not really post anything. I just let it run. So what? I don't care. It's not going to change my opinion. It's all for likes. And again, to me, I look at it as like, if you're that invested into what I say or to what Crispy say or what Fred say or what Bot say or what anybody else say, you're not paying attention to gaming. You're taking your time out to worry about me and others than gaming itself. And that's why I know that you're a fraud. It
You
cannot
notice
be.
that
Yeah.
you notice
Yeah.
that when K Mega makes a point, he always leaves me out of it.
Pretty much. Yes. No. And Otter. That's what I'm saying. Well, you too, man. I'm just,
I know, I'm just fucking
it's
with you.
just gross, man. Listen. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind having the fun talking the trash, a little back and forth banter. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It can be fun. But then when you're really trying to do something to try to enlighten the gaming community, it shouldn't always be, well, you know what I'm saying, just a negative every time. And it's really funny because when I say something positive about PlayStation, it never gets recognized. But if I say something that like the controller thing, only thing I said is, "Are you kidding me?" And it turned into, this is what it's about. What? I said, "Are you kidding me? Come on, this controller's only been out. That shit is cheap if it's already breaking." You know what I'm saying? And I've already made my claims, my talk about the Elite and how I won't buy the Elite 2. I bought 2 Elite ones, and I'm like, I'm done. There is no reason for me to buy any more Elites, and especially Crispy. You talking about the controller? The Series X controller is a goddamn beast. It is amazing. It feels good. The response is excellent. I don't have to buy me an Elite. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 of them. I got the Sonic Blue, and I got the one that came with the box, and I'm cool with it. I don't have to get me an Elite anymore because the response, everything is fantastic, and it seems to last longer than the Elites. And Microsoft needs to do something about that. Even though it lasts longer than a month, it lasts maybe about, for some people 3 to 3. For me, it was a year, and the other one was about a year and a couple of months. But I know people that messed up their Elite controllers in like 5 months, which for that price is unacceptable. But when you talk about what'd you say? How long was yours? What'd you say, Fred?
Oh, I was saying you weren't here in the preview before I gave my story about my Elite version too.
Oh, see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, there's negatives about everything. Fine, that's cool, but listen, there's going to be PlayStation channels that's going to be more pro PlayStation, and that's fine, and that's how it's supposed to be. There'll be Xbox channels that will be more Xbox centric and talk more about the discrepancies about PlayStation. That's fine, but what I'm not going to be a part of is when somebody says the PlayStation is dog shit. Fuck that. No, you're stupid. It's not dog shit. It's a great console. It's just that it's not your favorite. That's all it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So I don't know, man. It's dumb, it's silly, and we got to do better in 2021. But I feel that we're gonna have a couple of years of this dumb shit until something big happens, and then some of these zealots will go away, in my opinion. But I just keep it about gaming.
All right, brother. I got you, man. And as you guys can hear, when it came to disappointments, there was definitely a lot to be said. I would have really liked to end this like with a more positive note, but I think just looking into the future, into 2021, and seeing the potential in gaming of the year that's to come, I think that is pretty much positivity enough for now, guys. I am trying to wind this down because first off, Predator remind me I am very hungry, and I definitely need something to eat. I'm also gonna go in with my son in Destiny 2. There's an exotic sniper rifle that I need to get, and he said that we are gonna go in and repeatedly do the same event until we get this exotic. But guys, this is the end of 2020, which means the end of season 3 of the next podcast. So next week we will be going in with season 4, a brand new mascot. Like I said, I'm also working on a new look for the show as well. So stay tuned for that. It was a long year all the way around in terms of worldwide things. You know, it was a crazy year. Big Japanese freaking bugs and viruses and stuff like that. It was just a crazy year. A lot of people are really looking forward to 2021 and what that's gonna bring. At least I know with this channel we have a bunch of new shows that are gonna be debuting next year in 2021, and of course season 4 of the next podcast. Shout out to the chat and everybody who hung out with us tonight. It is good to see you guys again. We weren't live last week, and it feels like so much time has passed, and it was really good. Even though as K Mega said, this was practice. We're talking about practice here. It felt really good to go live and to talk about gaming topics with you guys. So with that being said, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in, and I am going to start with Predator. Pred, man. Dude, you made it all the way through the show. We didn't go crazy late, but I know you were up. You've been up since a little after 1 a.m. this morning. Pred, it's your outro, man. What do you got to say, bro?
I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed.
Next week, man. Hit me up on my OnlyFans and my MySpace. Talk to y'all later.
Yo, nice, brother. Let's go to Dark. Yo, Dark Optimus, my West Coast brother, man. Yo, you got the rhythm of your outro down. Are you gonna just do your typical outro? Or are you doing something new?
Nope, typical outro. You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. But I am going to change it up a little bit. If you guys haven't played Immortals Phoenix Rising, definitely pick it up. It's a good game. Don't believe all the bullshit you hear from the reviews. It's actually a really good game. Yeah, that's about it, man.
Nice, brother. Yo, Crispy, what is going on with you, man? I know you're on other podcasts. I don't know what's going on with them throughout the week, man. What do you got? What do you got for the audience for your outro tonight, dude?
At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28, Xbox Live. Yes, I have no clue what's going on next week. I have absolutely. Well, I'm sure Bot's gonna throw out a Thursday night show. I'm pretty sure the way he's been going, but. I must say,
he's not giving us time off.
Yeah. I must say, Happy New Year. I love you all. Yes, I spoke my gosh darn truth, and I'm sorry if it offended anybody, but I just got to say it at the end of the day. No, I'm a little sorry, just because might have hurt some people's feels, but it is what it is, man. Like, let's be nice. Like, come on. Are we there yet? Yeah, let's go.
Wow. Awesome, brother. Yo, K Mega. What is going on with you? You said the holidays and everything like that. I know you have a podcast on your YouTube channel. I know you do a lot of streaming. What do you got for your outro, brother?
No, nothing, man. I'm just gaming. This is my time to just focus on just gaming. No podcast, no nothing. I will stream Friday night for the first time in a little bit, but and then of course we'll do Sunday night fight night this coming up Sunday. But Yeah, no, I will just get back to doing everything. Back to normal. GRG will be back on the 8th. And yeah, I will do a video tomorrow, kind of like the last day shutout. It'll be a little quick video, and ain't gonna be too long. And then just that's it, man. So really appreciate the support, and yeah, check me out on Twitter, check me out on Twitch, check me out on YouTube, man. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Just gonna try to do bigger and better things, and that's it, man. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight, and I hope everybody have a great New Year. Be blessed, and get ready for 2021, because it can't be. We can't. I don't want to jinx it, so I ain't gonna even say it. So anyway,
don't say that.
let's just get away from 2020, man. So
Nice, brother. And I will say that I am flirting with the idea, and I'm probably gonna do it. I will be streaming tomorrow night going into the new year, and so stay tuned to the channel for that. I got a couple different games planned, and it's just gonna be a continued live stream, and I will put up a vote on Twitter on what game I should play going into 2021. So I will be live streaming tomorrow, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, and you guys will pick what game I will be playing when 2021 hits. So I definitely look forward to that. I definitely want to see you guys in the chat. We're going to keep it gaming all the way into the new year. But shout out to all the supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And, of course, supporting Next Podcast. Next year starts Season 4 of the Next Podcast. Stay tuned on this channel and on Twitter to find out who the new mascot for the Next Podcast will be. But, guys, as usual, just again, thank you guys so much. The support throughout the year, just to see the channel grow throughout the year, has been absolutely incredible. And I know we are not done yet. So there's a lot more to come. A bunch of new shows are coming to this channel in 2021. There's a lot to announce. There's so much that I am not going to do it now, and I am just going to say we will see you guys next week for the Next Podcast. Have a great night, everybody. And Pred's too tired to do anything crazy right now. He really is just too tired.
He probably passed out already, man.
it's practice.
It's practice.
Shut it off.